Well, welcome back to part 2 of Get It Together. This is the toolbox part, and this is the second video on the toolbox. So this is the main part of the toolbox, and it's plastic. It's a Homer box is what they call it. It's from Home Depot, and it has a lot of items in it that I want to go through and show you what I have in here, take some things out, and rearrange my toolbox so it's easier and more efficient to work with. I may need to have a list of items to add to my toolbox. Now, as I said before, this is not the main toolbox for the homestead. This is my personal toolbox. So you're going to see a lot of random items that may not be in a normal toolbox. So let's start looking at this. Let's look at this. These are pliers. It's a 2-piece locking plier set. It's still in the package. Have I used this? Obviously not. There hasn't been a need for this. So the items that I show in the toolbox, unless it's trash, I will be keeping everything, but I just need to get it together so it's easier to use. How long have I had this? About 3 years. So it may not even need to be in this toolbox. It might need to be in the main toolbox. So let's put that on the side. The next thing is some parts. These are metal parts that go in your closet to hold your clothes rod. I was replacing the ones that I had in my closet because they were wooden, and one of them actually was plastic. Well, obviously I bought one too many. So, am I going to return it? No. I probably will need it a little bit later. So we'll put that on the side. Maybe it'll go in the large toolbox. Let's look at this. Hammer. Well-worn, genuine hickory. I use it quite a bit, so it will stay in the main toolbox, not in the top tray though. It'll main toolbox. Now, these little snippers, not quite sure what they're used for. Wire. I've had them forever. I don't think I've ever used them. Now, we're going to put those on the side to go into the main toolbox. So maybe someone else can figure out what these are and what you use them for. So we'll put that on the side. A ball of twine. Actually, I use this a lot in the garden, in my vegetable gardens. I use this a lot. So this stays in the main toolbox that I have. Then we're going to look at a post and clamp cleaner set. So I don't know if you can see that. It looks like this is something, and I don't deal with this at all. This is something that you would clean off car battery posts with, I guess. Okay, do I do this? I've never done this. So it ended up in my toolbox, and I'm not sure how. So we're going to put that on the side to put it in the main toolbox so they can use it. This is something I enjoy to use, and it's a big tape measure, heavy duty. It's called Husky. It's 25 feet long. I use this in the garden all the time. So we're going to keep this in my toolbox. Then we're going to go into this. And it's still in the package, and it's a drill bit set. But I don't know what it goes to. I mean, obviously a drill, but I'm not sure if I have that drill. And there's a screwdriver set that's in there too. So I'm going to put that in the main toolbox. Someone else can use that. This is another thing, only it's larger than the one with the pink handles. Maybe it's a wire snipper cutter. Somebody tell me what this is also. What do you use this for? Another thing I have, and I know what this is. It's very old. This was my father's. It's a needle nose plier. You can tell how old it is, but it's very well made, solid metal. So I'm going to keep this. Even if I don't use it, I'm going to keep it because it was my father's. Now, let's look at this. Oh, okay. These look like shears. I don't think they would cut metal. I'll have to check. But they look like gardening shears, and I have lots of these like clippers. I'll have to check if these cut metal. If they do, I've just purchased a double of something I already had. But that's okay. 1 is none, 2 is 1. Now I have a little book, a cordless drill Black & Decker manual. That's important because here's the drill. The Black & Decker drill, cordless drill. So it has a little battery, and I'm sure in here, oops, sorry, here's the plug that you can recharge it. So this is a rechargeable battery drill. So I'll definitely keep that, and the reason is it seems to be easy to hold for me. It's not super heavy, so we'll just keep that right there. Okay, this is really random. It's a measure. It's a stainless steel measuring cup. Not sure why this is in here. So we're going to put that in the main toolkit. Another thing I have is some type of tape, and it looks like it's for plumbing, I think. So we'll put that in the main toolkit. We don't need it. This is electrical tape. I've never used it. Main toolkit. Oh, and another from Shears tape measure. So we'll put that in the main tool chest because I already have a small one in my top tray. I used to go to a hardware store, and I really enjoyed, don't ask me why, buying these little kits, these little assortments of nails. Now this is a box nail assortment. They're silver. I thought, okay, those are easily packed in my toolkit. Then I thought, oh, well, I might need some wood screws. We'll keep those. I'm going to keep those in my tool chest. In here, we have flat Phillips wood screws. Okay, it's good to have around. Now, these sets in these little boxes, obviously, I've never used. They've never been opened. This is a stud finder. I've used this a lot. So I'm going to keep this. I'll check the batteries to make sure that they're okay. It looks like there are no batteries in here, which is great. That's the best way to store it. And I also will make sure I have the correct size batteries to use that. Here is a multi-purpose tool. Now, I like to have this just on hand. I've never used it, but I think it has some knives in there and different things. So, I would say it's handy to have around, so I'm going to keep this in my main toolbox. Safety goggles. Always nice to have. Keep in your toolbox. And we have some more of these, this wrench. So we'll put that in the main toolbox. Now this is a drop forged 10-inch, you can adjustable wrench. Why does it have orange paint on it? I don't know. It's very heavy. It's not user friendly for me. This will go in the main toolbox. Here is another durable screwdriver. I have lots of screwdrivers. So we're going to put that in the top tray because I use screwdrivers. And the last thing in here is a little box. Let's see what's in the box. Oh, and here's a screwdriver with all different types of attachments. This is something that's very handy, and it doesn't take up much space. And you have all the different varieties of ends for screwdrivers, and I think that's a wrench in I don't know. I'm just not a tool person. I like to have tools around just in case. Let's say I'm home by myself trying to do something and I need some tools. I immediately go to my toolbox and see if I have that available. So that's all that's in my toolbox. I wanted to go through and let you know tool by tool what I'll be keeping and what I'll be putting in the main toolbox for others to use. Because if I don't know how to use it, or if it's too heavy, I don't want to use it. It's just, it's too heavy and I don't like it. So I appreciate you stopping by for part 2 of Get It Together, the toolbox. And I'll be cleaning everything out, putting it back, and I'll have all the tools that I might need to use quickly accessible in a moment's notice. I can grab my little toolbox and hopefully now it will completely close and I can lock it shut. Before it didn't close. There were too many things in it. In the comments below, as I was going through the video, I had questions about what some of these things were in this toolbox because I don't know. I'm sure I can ask my family members, but I'd like to ask the viewers what those things were and what are they used for? Is it something to have in a basic toolbox, or is it something that can go in a main toolbox and you don't need to have it around all the time? So I'd take you off the tripod for a minute and just want to let you talk, let me talk to you. Anyway, in the comments below, let me know what those things were that I saw and had no idea. And if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and maybe you need to get your toolbox together, if you have your own toolbox, let me know, and I will see you on the next video coming up. It will not be about the toolbox, but I will see you on the next video. Have a great day, and don't forget, get it together.